You don't have it? Where's it at?
Well, we're supposed to drop it?
Yeah, everyone's, no, they had it. Oh, no, she stole it from you. Because she walked in late.
No, I didn't.
She.
You took the one that was passed to her. Because Luke was too lazy to actually get up and pass it back. Thanks, Luke.
That's one bag.
Oh, Luke. Dang it, Luke. You had one job, Luke.
Handed the memo.
One job. All right, class.
No.
Oh, man, that's weak soup. Come on now. All right, so, all right, on this one right here, we've already done most of these notes. Because when I did the 8.x notes, the problems that we did were already here. But what we need to do is actually a lot of the vocabulary to go along with this because that's going to make life easier. So the homework for this one is also going to be a short homework, which actually has to do with the vocabulary. So this is page number 17, right? So for those people following along, it is page 17. All right. So mathematics or financing a car. Loan that you pay off with weekly or monthly payments or payments in some other time period is called installment loan. The advantage of an installment loan is that the consumer gets to use the product immediately. The disadvantage is that interest can add a substantial amount to the cost of purchase. Begin car loans with which you make on a regular payment is called a fixed installment loan. That means if it's fixed, you have a monthly payment and that monthly payment does not change. Okay, they have a variable loan also, but you don't want to do that. All right, here's the formula. If you need to try and do it, yeah, but don't do that. All right, so now, on these notes, so go down to slide 5 right now. So, Oswald, what slide are we on? 5. Thank you. So, we're going to actually do this, and so we're going to do it in 2 columns. So, we're going to go through and do loan A, and then loan B. And you're going to fill in N, percent, all that other stuff. So, let's start with loan A. So, suppose that you decide to borrow $30,000 for a new car. You could select one of the following loans, each requiring monthly payments. Loan A is 4-year at 3%. Now, first, how often do we make this payment? Every month. And for loan A, it's for how many years? 4 years. So 4 times 12 is going to give me 48. So loan A, that's your first group that you're going to make. N equals, thank you. You write that down? N equals 48. Now, percent on loan A is, what's a percent on loan A? Very good, 3%. Next thing is PV. Did you borrow money?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is a car loan, right?
Oh.
So you're borrowing money, so that means that we borrowed 30,000. So how do I show that I borrowed 30,000? Negative, very good. You show that you're borrowing it as a negative, so it's a negative 30,000 in the PV. Next thing is payments. PMT, we're going to solve for that. We're going to solve for that, so skip that one right there. So after PMT is future value. If you take out a loan, you want the future value to be?
0.
0, very good. So put future value as 0. After that is PPY. Payments per year. How many payments per year? 12, or dulce. Is it like candy?
No.
Isn't that candy?
Dulce?
Yeah.
Dulce is 12.
Is that what you just said?
Dulce.
That has
Candy.
No candy.
Dulce is candy.
That's what you just said.
No.
I said dulce.
He said 12 in Spanish.
Doce, dulce.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
No me llamo Jason.
Sí.
See? Come on, Jay Sean, he knows. All right. Okay, CPY. CPY is what?
12 as well.
12 as well, and payment is at the end.
And
For all the ones that we're going to do, payment's going to be at the end for each one of these.
Okay.
Unless it specifically says beginning. So don't worry about it until then. Now, but before you enter it into the calculator, before you enter it in the calculator, we're gonna do all the things for loan B, and then I'm gonna have you calculate. Loan B, it's still borrowing $30,000, but this one is 6-year at 4%. So, first, how many payments do we make a year? 12 payments, because we make a payment every when? Like, seriously, come on, leave your toys alone. Okay? Alright. So, every month, for how many years? 6 years. 6 years. So 6 times 12 is gonna give me 72. So you're gonna write down right now N equals you're writing down N equals. Thank you. Alright. Percent. What is the percent on this one? 4%. So you're gonna write 4% right there. So after 4%, how much did we borrow? What's our PV?
Negative 30.
Negative 30,000. Negative 30,000. Okay, so down to PMT. We're gonna solve for that one, so skip that one. Now, future value. FV, future value. We always want our payment to end up going down to. There we go. So we want to go my payment, my future value, all that down to 0 because I want to pay it off. PPY. 12. CPY. Very good. And payments at the.
And
Thank you. Please calculate those. So you're going to calculate the loan payment for both of those. You can hit tab too, remember? If you do tab,
there you go.
just tab. Tab, tab, tab.
And then for this one, it's, we subtract the one? This one, or what?
No. Okay, so we're gonna do interest first. So you got these, that's correct right now. And so I'm still waiting for other people to finally get there.
Ours?
Oh,
Okay.
hey, where do I get? Where do I go?
Financial solver.
Yeah, you forgot to write down everything.
It's not my fault. I wasn't here for a while.
You've been here for a
You,
while.
you've been
were
sitting
for
right
3
here.
days.
You've been here, right here. I told you what to write down.
Oh,
Body has nine.
What was
well,
in your
today.
Today, we're doing this today, Junior.
Whoa. Wait, what do I do?
Get to financial solver.
I wasn't here when you taught how to do that.
You were sitting right here like 35 seconds ago.
alright, you document.
Okay,
How do I do
thank
that?
you, thank you.
Oh, I see it.
You document.
All right,
Add calculator. Click it. Menu.
all right, so.
Wait.
Menu. Let me see your calculator. You're pissing me off.
New document, add calculator, there we go. So here, I'm gonna have, let's see,
Here.
finance,
This is the years.
solver.
This is the percentage.
So my first one,
That's blank.
48,
This is not blank.
3.
Zero, negative 30. 300.
Mark, I
That's
thought you were
blank.
talking
This is
smarter.
blank.
so my first payment was 664.03.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm gonna calculate, so that's my payment, now let's figure out interest. So I'm gonna take my 30,000, subtract my 664.03 times N. So to figure out my interest, I take how much I borrowed, right? I'm gonna subtract how much I'm paying, because it's 664 for 48 payments,
48.
right?
Yeah.
Because 48, that's my N value. So I am paying an extra $1,873.44. That's just the interest being paid on that.
It's keeping me awake.
I don't care if you're awake. I want you working on this.
I'm trying.
Anyway, all right. So let's go back to the other one and do the other problem. So B, it was 72 months, 4%. Future value, So let's figure out the payment. $469.36. Oh wait, my 30,000. And I'm gonna make this payment for 72 months. So right here, if you're looking, I'm gonna pay just interest on loan B. I'm gonna pay 3,811.20, right?
That's
Mateo, are you crazy?
Is that off or is it?
Did I write something wrong?
Mine
you
got
got 36.
mine 36. Oh, you forgot the 3 in front of the 6. Thought I was tweaking.
So what is it?
3, in front. There you go, 3.
3? Like that?
Yeah. There you go.
There we go. I'm sorry. Apologize. Okay, so we get 3793.92. So, which one is a better loan for you? The first one. But there's a difference here. If you have a higher payment, you pay it off sooner, you pay less interest. But you can't always afford that. And so that's how they get you. If you can't really afford it, you get the lower payments, but you're going to be paying for a lot longer. That's where they get you there. Does that make sense? So the better loan is actually at the lower interest, and it is less time.
Hey, mister,
Yes.
right now, let's say for world, someone's trying to buy art, how much would it be for interest
A cart?
for art
Let's fuck with
for a 4-year?
Hold on.
The plug that one for $25.
Imagine though, trying
So, right here, you want, usually goes under personal loans. Cars are under a personal loan there. Okay, and so for this, and hold on. I thought they had one for cars.
auto.
Oh, there it is. I don't know why I didn't have it on there. So, auto loan rates. And so let's say, for instance, 60 months. Now, you guys are probably in this rank right now. So you're just now 18. You don't have much credit history. So you're probably in this rate. So depends on where you're going through. So that's a refinance. That's used car.
That first one.
Refinance. So you want one that is, these are all refinance, so they're not, I don't think you're gonna get a car, wait, hold on. New car, there you go, there it is. 60 month, the longer you go, the more you're gonna end up paying. So if you looked at the one that we just did, 6.27%, or used car is 7.89. It's okay. The car is actually worth less.
My nose hurts.
Hey, the car is worth less, and so it's going to be harder to finance. Because if they repossess a new car, the bank could actually sell it for more money. They get a resale. They're investing in you making all the payments. But if it's a used car, it's not as good. All right, so good question though.
Oh, that's because, my mom was doing a 4-year plan on a 2012
Okay, 2012. That one you should probably try and save up. If it's 10 years or more, try to save up. Try to save up as much as you can.
No, she did it when I was a freshman before she traded it in for like a newer car.
Okay. Yeah, if it's older, don't ever finance it.
Yeah, I know.
So say, whatever the payment you would make, start putting that account into an account later on, and just so you make the payment now, and you can pay it all off at the beginning, because they will really get you on those ones.
Yeah, because the car that I have right now, that's a cash card.
Yeah.
I
So,
prefer
yeah.
a cash card than a finance card.
4 of my vehicles that I have right now are cash.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Anyway, all right, leasing. So these are important. So a lot of this stuff is going to be vocabulary for you, especially you guys are coming up to the age that you might actually have to buy a vehicle or leasing. I don't recommend ever leasing. I really don't. It's basically you're renting a car for a long period of time. So leasing is practice of paying a specified amount of money over a specific time used product. To use the product, leasing is essentially a long-term rental agreement. A closed-end lease, each month you make a fixed payment based on estimated usage. When the lease ends, you return the car and pay for mileage in excess of your estimate. So, I will explain that here in a second. Open-ended lease, each month you make a fixed payment based on the car's residual value. Residual value is the estimated resale value of the car at the end of the lease and is determined by the dealer. When the lease ends, you return the car and make payment based on the appraised value at the time and is compared to its residual value. If the appraised value is less than the residual value stated in the lease, you'll pay all or a portion of the difference. If the appraised value is greater than or equal to the residual value, you owe nothing and you may receive a refund. Okay, lease, you're borrowing a car. It's not a good thing, okay, because at the end, you're just throwing money away. So a lease advantages only requires small down payment or no down payment at all. Lease payments for a new car are lower than a loan payment for the same car. Most people can lease a more expensive car than they would be able to buy. When the lease ends, you return your car to the dealer and you do not have to concern about selling the car.
Isn't leasing like renting?
Yeah, so disadvantage, when the lease ends, you do not own the car. So you just paid for 4 years on a vehicle and you get nothing out of it. You just walk away. Most lease agreements have mile limits between $12,000 and $15,000. Miles per year is common. If you exceed the number of miles, there can be considerable charges, like $1 or $2 per mile over your lease agreement. For every mile over, they charge you. When mileage penalties and other costs at the end of the leasing period are taken into consideration, total cost of leasing is almost always more expensive than financing the car.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another good thing. While you lease the car, you're responsible for keeping it in perfect condition. You are liable for any damage to the car. Let's say you go to Walmart and that 400 shopping carts come and hit your new lease. Okay, you're responsible for all the damage, any scratches, all that stuff. Okay, so kind of like where Tony left his bumper over there on 17 and Camelback. Okay, it was still sitting there on the corner. He's going to be responsible for replacing that bumper on there. Yeah, don't do that. Leasing does not cover maintenance. There are penalties for ending the lease early. Right, Tony?
But you have to get insurance on the car still?
Yes.
You still have to?
But if it's a lease, you have to get full coverage. You have to have full coverage all the time. Okay, we're going to talk about auto insurance right now
I
too.
wanna see how much, like, the actual lease is.
Okay,
They're expensive?
you want to look at it?
Yeah.
We'll look at it here in a moment, okay? We'll do that as part of this, and I'll even record that part. So when you purchase insurance, you buy protection against loss associated with unexpected events. Different types of coverage are associated with auto insurance, but the one required by nearly every state is liability. Arizona, liability is required. There are 2 components of liability coverage. Bodily injury liability covers costs of lawsuit if someone is injured or killed in an accident in which that you are at fault. Property damage liability covers damage to other cars and property from neglect or operation of your vehicle. Now, when you go to the parking lot and you see Tony's car sitting out there and it's missing both bumpers and it just tore up the hell, right? Okay, so because Tony only has liability insurance for everything he hits, they don't pay to fix his car. That's what liability would cover. Okay, so if Tony hits you in the parking lot,
You get a
Tony's
bag.
insurance will cover fixing your car.
And then you go to
But-
the chiropractor, then you get a bag.
But then Tony, he's still gotta drive around in that jalopy missing both bumpers.
Hey, Tony,
Wait, what?
Both bumpers, right?
You're hating, bro. My bumper's not even missing. They're just
Okay, he's driving around in a car with 3 different tires and 2 donuts on it.
What? Alright, cause my back tires right now, they're all different. Because I popped my 22, chill.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yes, but he's driving out on a donut, so it makes it
I'm not,
worse.
they're stocks.
Hey, it's a
They are-
stock
they are
donut.
They are,
Okay,
they're not,
it's
not a
stock,
donut.
seriously, it's not even a good donut
Oh
either.
my God.
It's not even one of those Hertz donuts. Anyway, but
It's good and
liability does not pay to get yours fixed. That's why you see all these cars driving around, just beat to hell. Okay? It was their fault or the accident, and it didn't get paid for. And even worse, if you don't have full coverage, so Tony has liability. But Tony got hit by somebody that didn't have any insurance at all. Liability coverage doesn't actually cover his stuff if the other person didn't have insurance.
The cookie
Liability coverage
doesn't cover.
doesn't cover you if you get hit by someone that doesn't have insurance. That's a lot of people around here.
Basically, liability is ass.
Yes, that only covers you if it's your fault. But that's minimum requirement. But they say minimum, but doesn't mean that everyone has to have it. Because some people driving around with no license, no insurance.
Chill.
Tony, seriously, come on. Your license is still suspended. I don't even know why you're driving. Okay, when you got that DUI last weekend.
Okay, a DUI is crazy.
Okay, so
I had to have Deshaun drive.
okay, so now the next one here is collision coverage. Pays for damage or loss of your car if you're in an accident. Okay? That's also comprehensive cover protects your car from perils such as fire, theft, falling object, acts of nature, and collision with an animal. So over where I live, okay, they got some really big javelina. And you know, like once or twice a month, I'm driving down the road, you can see like this big pig. You know, it looks like Pumbaa on the side of the road. Okay? But someone hit a big pig. So yeah, they're called javelinas. All right, now listen up, please. Hey, pay attention. We already did this problem right here in the 8.x, so I'm not going to go back over it again. We already did this one. So if you want to go back and find this one, it's on 8.x. But I'm trying to cover all the vocabulary for today. So, money pit car ownership. Buying a car is a huge expense. To make matters worse, the car continues costing money after you purchase it. These costs include operating expenses such as fuel, maintenance, tires, tolls, parking, cleaning. The cost also includes ownership expenses such as insurance, license fees, registration fees, taxes, and interest on loan. So based on 15,000 miles per year, okay, a small sedan is going to cost you about $7,500 just to operate that vehicle each year.
Yeah, well, I think I'm probably gonna have problems.
Okay, electric vehicle comes out to be over $9,000 per year. Okay, yes, you know, you're not paying for gas, but you're paying for other stuff.
How much for a health?
SUV, four-wheel drive, over $10,000 a year. Okay, minivan, okay, got $10,000 a year. Okay, we got Luke's, you know, he's got to drive a minibus because he's got all those kids. Okay, so he has to pay about $11,000 a year to get the wheels on the bus changed out, you know, all the gas, you know, all the snacks that he has in the car seats all the time there. Okay, it's got auto feeder set up. That's where it's at. Anyway, so I don't like the way that these notes and the homework actually goes along with this. People get vehicles according to whatever their job field is. Okay? If you have a sedan, this refers to only doing your, you know, going to and from work. What if you can make money with your vehicle. Okay, so if you, yeah, if you have a truck, or if you, let's say you have a lawn care maintenance or something like that, and you gotta have a truck and trailer, right? So that means that's gonna go into here, and part of that stuff pays for itself. So the way that they actually push this is they want everyone to be in tiny vehicles, or, you know, nothing else. Alright, where am I at now? So, down here at the bottom. There we go. Alright, so from there, I'm gonna say, we're gonna like, share, and subscribe, but I'm gonna pull up the vehicle costing for today. So, I got 2 minutes, and so I'm gonna stop it here though.